Hi, my name is Pastor Jim Hoggett. We're sitting here in Coeur d'Alene Open Bible, and this is a counseling center. We're talking about two people referred to the office through counseling through Paul the Apostle in the New Testament. I want you to meet Priscilla and Aquila. We've been talking a lot about family systems. I have a master's in family systems, and we've been talking about relationships and how to understand families. We're going to talk about something called games people play. And it comes from an old book back in, I think, like the 60s. The guy's name was Bernie. And in this, he talks about the family system. Now, to understand a family system, think of a dance. Every family has its own family dance. You know a child's mobile that hangs over a crib? You move one thing and everything else shifts. Well, families work like that. You move one thing and everything else shifts. You never understand an individual by themselves. You always understand them in the context of the family that they come from. Well, one of the things that people do in this game is they have different family members who play different roles in the family dance. You have a child who's the good kid. And then you have a child who is the black sheep. He's the one who's always in trouble, the black sheep. You'll have something called a scapegoat. And it seems that all of the things that's wrong with the family gets put on the scapegoat. He's always in trouble. And then you have something called a placater. Okay? Now the placater is the one who's always doing good things. And he figures, this family's dysfunctional. If I'm good enough, I can fix the family. So this child is like getting straight A's, working really hard and doing everything mom asks. And the idea is, if I'm a good enough child, I can fix the family. So they have this habit they create about always trying to do their best and always being the best. Long around age 12 or 13, they begin to realize that they're failing, that they're not fixing the family. And because they're not fixing the family, they end up feeling like they are the failure. And so they have this thing that happens in their thinking, that it doesn't matter how hard I try or how good I get, I'm always going to fail. And sometimes that sticks with them the rest of their life. Now, this guy called the scapegoat. You can always identify the scapegoat because people refer to him as the black sheep of the family. Now, a scapegoat is something that people have been using for years. We go all the way back to the time of Christ when the Jewish people, and especially the Sanhedrin and the high priest, they went and they scapegoated onto Jesus. The high priest says, "It is better that one person dies than the whole nation have to suffer." So Jesus was scapegoated on. In history, we have experience with Hitler, where Hitler needed to scapegoat somebody, so he did it to the Jewish people. Ended up killing 6.5 million of them. And all of the Germans were convinced that it was the Jewish people that was their problem. If they got rid of the Jewish people, they wouldn't have any more problems. They scapegoated onto them. We kind of did something here in the United States. We did it to the Indians. We came to the Indians and we said, "We want your land." And they said, "Well, no." And so we took it anyway. And they got mad at it. So we got mad at them for being mad at us. And we scapegoated onto them. Now the KKK did it with the blacks. And eventually, if you go all the way to the end of the book in Revelation, the Antichrist will, full circle, go back to the Jewish people. And the whole world will try to scapegoat onto the Jewish people. Okay. It's not fair. This person gets